Welcome back. This is Romanian playing Planet Crafter. As promised, this time we're going to have a look into crashed spaceships, starting with this little one close to our base. Obviously we still don't have a lot of oxygen or general survivability, so bringing oxygen capsules and water bottles is a good idea. Or, what I like to do is place a living compartment right in front of the ship I want to investigate, so I can always run out quickly to breathe. This way I don't waste too much inventory space on oxygen capsules and water bottles. Another thing that we want to have is the torch, because it will be pitch black in there. Having is good, turning on is even better. And here's already our first treasure. They are called servers. The ones we find in ships are very valuable in mid-game. They will give us a valuable resource, a circuit board, that we need for many crafting recipes. And before we are able to craft circuit boards ourselves, deconstructing these servers will be our best source to get them. We can't deconstruct them yet, because we need an upgrade for the deconstruction chip that we haven't gotten yet. But we'll be back later and deconstruct every server we can find. Just running out for a moment to breathe in the living compartment. And then we'll see what other treasures we can find in here. And hello locker. Spacesuits in here. They are only cosmetic. They don't give us a spacesuit upgrade or anything, but some of them look nice, so of course we want them. And then equip them and see how they look like. Here's a chest, so clearly treasure. Well, at this point everything we find is treasure because we need everything. And there are some of the seeds that we need to put in our vegetubes to create oxygen. And we can also deconstruct the storage crate, which will give us one piece of iron. At this stage, we'll gratefully take it. Now, these little ones are the real treasure chests. They contain microchip blueprints that we can decode in our base, and they will give us upgrades or new crafting recipes. Very nice. Time to run out and breathe. Sometimes our way will be blocked by debris, but we can just deconstruct that. And again we get resources from doing that. Iron again in that case. More treasure. We can eat the space food here directly and drink the bottled water from the chest. But now the inventory is full, so time to get out and do something about it. So I might create a storage crate here. Actually, we got an upgrade. I can create a storage locker now. More inventory space. And I can leave the things that I don't immediately need in here, and later when I want them, come back and pick them up without having to go through the entire spaceship again to find what I want. We do need the space suits, because of course we want to see how they look like, right? So this is spacesuit number 1. And this is how we would look like without equipping one of the cosmetic suits we can find in equipment lockers. And that is the other one. There are many more different ones out there to find. Even if you don't want to wear some of them, you can keep them and put them on display in your base later. There will be a deco for that. I think I like this one better for now. Yeah, that's the one for now. And now we're just going to salvage the last few things from the ship that we can take for now. Deconstructing the crates also helps to prevent us from searching the same crate over and over again. And at this point I still want every piece of iron. Later we can be a lot more selective about what we want to take and what we want to leave behind. Oh, that's a heater, like the ones we can construct to create heat for the terraforming. And because deconstructing gives us all the materials initially used, that means we get exactly the materials we need to create another heater. Nice. Or we would, if the inventory wasn't full again. More crates here, so we'll be back. And we have a meteor shower again. If you see loads of little ones, don't bother. They replenish some of the base materials like iron, titanium and everything we've been farming from the start. There might even be an occasional aluminum in there, but generally you can just ignore them. If you can block out the noise, that is. Initially those meteors add to the ambience, but soon they just turn annoying. Unless you turn off the screen shake, try exactly placing a deco during a meteor shower. Good luck. Oh yeah, these seeds we picked up. We can put them into our vegetubes to create oxygen. And as you can see, they all have a different bonus for oxygen generation. As was pointed out in the comments, I could have put the Lerma seed that I already had last time in the vegetube, and that's what I did in my first playthrough. But it doesn't give you any oxygen bonus, so just running to the ship, picking up some seeds with a bonus on it and be back in no time would be more efficient. And in no time at all, these vegetubes are going to be only a decoration anyways, because you'll get so much more efficient oxygen generating machines. So let's see what else we have here. Grab everything we can carry. And of course we take the blueprint, thanks. And here are some more servers. We'll be back for them as soon as we get the deconstruction chip upgrade. So that was the first little ship. There are much bigger ones out there and much more complex ones. Alright, time to get the salvage to base and put the plants in and decode the microchips and place some of the new things we got. And then I have another ship to show you, as well as a special treasure. By the way, have you noticed the sky is changing its color? Oh yeah, and since last time, the base has changed somewhat. I built the second floor and some storage. The reason I didn't put that in the video is that at this stage that required me to run around and pick up every single piece of iron I could find. But don't worry if you're a building fan, there will be a lot more building going on that I'm going to show you. This base is going to be big, I mean big. And I will add a floor for decoration purposes only. This second floor will be for storage, and much later there will be some crafting and automation going on. And yes, I've put the place on a foundation grid, so it's not floating anymore. So those are our vegetubes, and I'll just put one of our flowers in there. We don't have a higher bonus than this yet, and It looks pretty. There. Now, we could stay here and watch the flower grow. Don't worry. But I could make a video about that. A meditation video. Watch flowers grow in the Planet Crafter. Guided meditation by Romanian. Okay, let's move on. So these are the new fancy lockers. Well, bigger at least. You saw one of them earlier. Now I named this one Survival. That will change later, but for now it contains oxygen capsules and everything food related. The food is what we need to be somewhat concerned about now, because we can craft oxygen capsules from cobalt, water bottles from ice, but so far we can't make our own food. That has to change because the food packages we have aren't unlimited. Fortunately, we got a new blueprint that allows us to craft food growers. I'll speed that up a bit. Now we need seeds to grow something in there. We have different kinds of seeds, and obviously we'll be able to craft different things with them. But for now, we can just eat everything raw. And now we don't have to worry about starving anymore. What we might want to worry about is energy, because the disappointing noise you heard was the game telling us that placing that last food grower cost more energy than we have available. So I'll just place a few more solar panels until I have enough uranium for the reactor. And I'll speed that up because this video is all about shipwrecks. So let's have a look at the other shipwreck close by and then check out the special treasure we can find there. By the way, have you noticed how the sky has changed? Looks blue to me already, but we haven't reached the official blue sky threshold yet. We have plenty of time to investigate the shipwreck before that. Like before, I'm going to place another living compartment right outside the shipwreck I want to investigate. And as so often, cutting it really close again. So, crashed spaceship number 2. Yes, we just take everything, sort it out later. Another blueprint, always nice. By the way, does anyone else find it creepy that in so many games you can't see yourself in mirrors? Okay, in this case at least they have the excuse that the flashlight is blinding you, but still. Need oxygen and water. So that's where we've been already. Done in there. Let's see what other treasures we can find. Food. More servers. We'll remember that because we'll be back for them later. We want those circuit boards. Aha! More spacesuits. We have that one already. Let's have a look at the other one. Outside though, we can't see a thing in here. By the way, if you've read up on the Planet Crafter, you may have come across the expression procedural regs. That means that the loot in the crates will be adjusted to your current progress in the terraforming. It doesn't matter when you open what or which ship you loot first, you'll always find items that are relevant for your current progress in the mix. And we already know a temporary solution to our inventory problem. Put the locker right here. Oh yeah, let's have a look at the spacesuit. Black one. Usually I like black outfits, but as a spacesuit I don't know. I'll stay with the other one for now. More meteors. Still only the annoying little ones. We'll get actually useful ones later. No message. Something to read back at base if you're interested in a bit of background story. Alright, and this is an interesting room that you will find in most of the crashed spaceships. It's the ship's generator. Unfortunately, it's not going to give you energy or anything that looks immediately valuable. On the contrary, we have to put something in there to make it work again. Once we can craft a fusion cell, that's what we put in here to make the generator work again. However, it's not going to power our base. What it does is power the crashed ship, which means that there will be previously closed doors opening. There's often a little bit of background story to be found on those screens to add a bit to the atmosphere. You can just pause if you want to read this one. And yes, it's worth the, at the beginning, high resource cost of the fusion cell, because behind those closed doors we're going to find some of the more valuable items. And the inventory is full again, of course. I'm just going to have a look if there's something in there that I really want. No, but I'll be back for that soon. At this stage we can use most everything we find. More servers. Definitely going to be back for those once we have the deconstruction chip upgrade. And the last two chests in here. You know what, I'm going to take the fabric. I can use that for an upgrade. Oxygen, need I say more? By the way, it was mentioned in the comments not to open chests just to have a look, because later on there will be more valuable things in them. But don't worry, you're never going to run out of crates, ever. And we want to have all the stuff in all the crates reasonably close to base now. Later, we'll have all sorts of upgrades that allow us to travel further way faster, and eventually we'll reach a stage where we won't care much about crates anymore, because we'll have so many resources that we don't know where to store them anymore. You don't have to be cautious about which crates to open and which to save for later. There are more crates than you're ever going to need, and you're never going to run out of resources if you know where to look. And I'll show you some more resource spots next time. Just taking the at our stage rarer things out of here. Yeah, so that's what we can do in here for now. We'll be back later for the deconstruction of the servers and of course to unlock the secret doors once we can craft a fusion cell. So there's only one thing left to do for now. Breathe. Okay, one more thing other than breathing. Oh, you know what? Two more things, since we're here already, because you're not going to see that at a much later point in the game. There are plenty of caves around, many of which are blocked by ice. So we can have a look here, which heat level we must reach before they become available. If you look closely, you can even see one of the resources right inside that block of ice. Don't fret over heat levels though. If you just progress normally with your terraforming, those caves will unlock just when you're ready to move on and actually use the new resources. Just make sure you have a little bit of everything, some oxygen, some heat, some pressure. Okay, last thing on the to-do list for today, a special chest. There are golden chests spread over the map and here is one of them. Exploring in this game is always rewarded. The golden chests have special items in them, among them always a golden seed, which will give you the highest oxygen bonus flowers will give you, and a decorative item. In this case, a golden space rocket. Yeah, that's right, it's a space rocket. I know what you're thinking, but it's wrong, it's a space rocket. And even deconstructing the golden chest gives us better resources than an ordinary blue chest. Well, that was it for today. Next time we'll reach the official blue sky threshold, our first major terraforming goal. We'll find 2 more golden chests and I'll show you some neat places to get special resources in the beginning. See you then!